What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I am back with some more Age Mythology, the Titans action, spawning on the left side of the map in the blue color, playing as Loki. His name is Shelty. On the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Player. The map is Savannah. This is a best of 5. In the end of the spring tournament, there was a group stage. Everyone who get to the final 4 play against each other, and then whoever comes out on top goes on to the final to duke it out to see who wins. So we have Shelty, Player, Moore, and Joe making it to the finals, or the final group stages, and then they're duking it out to see who's going to get through. Shelty playing Loki this game, one of the first Norse gods we're going to be seeing in this sort of series here. We'll see what he can do against Player. Loki does have a lot of good... Well, basically what Loki does is very, very strong against what Zeus can do. For example, if Zeus goes for Hermes with centaurs, the Hall of Thane's Hersa are fast enough to chase them around. And you know, it doesn't matter how good you are, the micro is just not going to be enough because of how speedy those Hall of Thane's Hersa are. On top of that, if Zeus decides to go through Athena, a lot of the time Loki can get to the heroic age before Zeus can gold starve the Loki player, and then utilize his flaming weapons in order to outright win a fight and take control of the map and get his own gold starve going. So Loki definitely has the same option against both of what the player can do. It just comes down to whether or not player can execute better than Shelty, or Shelty can execute better than player. Also, everything being said, this is Savannah, a very, very open map, which definitely favors Loki. Generally on the close quarters maps, Zeus has a lot of choke points. He can block the Loki army, He can block the Loki army with like small choke points and utilize the Toxote. I don't know. I'm never going to get it right. I'm gonna block those and into the Alfheim cliffs, for example, and force fights in bad situations for the Loki player. But on Savannah, there's so much option for Loki to fight, and we will see if he can, if Shelty can utilize that to the best of his ability. Unfortunately, it looks like he's found no quality hunt here. We've got monkeys. We've only got 2 zebra here. Going on to chicken this early is not what you want to be seeing. He's missed the gazelle up here and the elephant up here. This is a huge hunt spot for the Norse player Shelty here, and unfortunately that first lap around is just not enough, and he has to bring his Ulfsark back to build the temple. So he's going to be struggling to get to that next stage at a significant at a fast time. He's going to build those walls out, so he should be able to get there, but he's going to have to move forward up to here. Hopefully notice that, well, if there's no hunt here, then it has to be up in this location, and there's probably going to be some stuff over here, but it's kind of already been taken by player. Player, on the other hand, looks like he's going for 3 villages wood, 2 villages gold, doing that standard advance time, getting that temple up, and he's also gathering from his gazelle and his elephant already, which is really nice for him. Also, there's a zebra spawn here, which looks like that means that this zebra was actually decent. Yes, if we check out Shelty's perspective, he can only see 2 of the zebra when there's 5 here. More than worth it for him to move forward and grab those, but he has not scouted that area well enough there to notice that. And this map does give you 2 zebra quite a bit, so Shelty getting very unlucky there, or I guess it's not unlucky, he just didn't scout this black space because of the trees, and sometimes that can really hurt you. Especially when you see the zebra there, you should check out the rest of what's going on there. Unfortunately, not checking that out well enough, and he does see that 3rd zebra there, so I'm hoping he does make a movement forward. Building out those Hersa, needs to get up a house, needs to get some more food coming out. He's going to be able to spam those dwarves. Definitely needs to get an ox cart onto this savannah tree with these wood villages. Once he chops out the rest of this tree here, he's really going to need that ox cart, and he hasn't queued it up just yet. So I'm interested to see when he does grab that one. Seems like a little bit of an odd choice here. Seeing Athena is the god of choice for player, which I do love, considering how many possibilities grabbing these gold mines is going to be. And on top of that, if he can get some forward military buildings up, which it looks like he was trying to do, he's going to be in a good position. He's also got the access to the bolt here, which he can use onto one of these Hersa. He's got access to the Jason as well. Potentially he's just going going to use it to build a forward base over here, and then he can start marching straight onto this gold mine. We'll see what happens there. The Jason is going to get pushed off. He's sitting in a bit of a difficult situation there with these Hursa and the Skrilling attacking, and Jason's going to have to get back. And he's going to have to chill for the moment. But one of the good things that we can see here for player is that this location has not been scouted out just yet. There is a Skraeling moving in here at this point. However, the village is going to be moving forward. Looks like they may be considering coming in onto these zebra here. Going to be building up those forward military buildings. Where's he going? He sees there's a zebra here, and maybe he feels like this is where all of the zebra are, but he's seen the location. They're going to be grabbing the storehouse. I'm going to chuck up some military buildings. Getting that Odysseus out very fast. Always a little bit confusing there. Oh, that was such a close scout. Shelty was so close to seeing this here. Oop. We check out Shelty's line of sight here. Does not spot that at all. Doesn't even know that there is a tree here. I mean, he sees this Savannah tree, which pretty much gives away there's a forest here, but he does not check out that location at all. Military Academy coming in at the front of his base instead of here is a little bit interesting. Not sure why he didn't just decide to build them up here. I guess he wants to just play a little bit safer, but the amount of travel time these buildings need in order to get to his opponent's base is actually quite a lot. And if you get these military buildings up in the front here, then the travel time and the pressure you can put onto your opponent is really big. But I guess he can utilize that in order to cut off hunt here and here, which is a big part of this early game as well. When this hunt runs out, Shelty's going to have to move up to this location here. And by that stage, it looks like the Zeus's military should be in a decent enough position here. He's only got, this is very odd, he's only got 2 military buildings here when, and generally speaking, Zeus can afford 3 at the very least. And then once you get 10 villages onto the wood, you can afford 4. So he's also got too many villages on gold here at this point. You can kind of go, when you leave 3 villages on gold at the very start, you can go 10 villages food, 10 villages wood, and then 10 villages gold, and afford at least 3 military buildings, if not 4, for the entirety of the early game in an Athena style play. But potentially doesn't have the economy upgrades. No, he's got both the economy upgrades, and you can see he's got these resources left in the bank. 200 wood and a little bit of food there as well. A little bit short on the food because he doesn't have enough villages on that at this point, and he is floating gold at the moment. So not exactly an efficient Athena just yet, but he should, if he doesn't fight, it doesn't really matter. So he can just chill until everything happens. All these buildings are going to make it very difficult for Shelties to get in here, and Ray looks like he's going to try and get in here and pick off this villager. He does have a clean path back to this watchtower though, but it does look like the Hurso do manage to get in there and pick him off, and then are going to get out of there. Military Academy going to be sitting there almost complete, but still an extra 40 HP that needs to be sunk into that Military Academy before it gets up. If we check out what's going on over here, we've got the villagers back onto this elephant yet again. I really like the fact that he ran up here and then ran back to this location after that early pressure was put on. Seeing another villager getting picked off here. Not sure why that villager was there. Potentially running around this. Yeah, he was running around the tree to get the wooden wall up. But now these Hursa should probably simply get out of here at this stage. He kind of got too many Toxotes, I don't know. Toxote there, just doing the stuff. Catoscopus is in here, going to be checking out this location. The baboon are going to get gathered here. Baboon are considered hunt, but as the tooltip says, they provide little food. So you spend the issue with baboon is you spend a lot of time having your villagers shooting the baboon instead of gathering, which does slow down their gather rate quite significantly. We're seeing the iron here move in here, going to be causing a little bit of issue onto these villagers, but they should just get back to work fairly quickly. And now we're seeing the army of player moving out into this location here, and it does look like there's not really the Hurso in position to defend against this, so a lot of these villages are going to be falling. We are also seeing the Hurso run in here, trying to do some damage to these player villages here. He can get into the sentry tower, and he can get to his town center. It does look like he's not going to lose too much there. Hoplite are out, and he is going to be circling around this tree instead of going this way, going around this way, and that's going to be completely out of line of sight of Shelty until the very last moment. We're going to see these units run in here, unfortunately focusing down on Baboon, and it doesn't look like Shelty is quite on top of this, and he may be losing quite a few of these, but unfortunately player not having the right line of sight on that does not get his army in there, and Shelty does react fairly quickly there, and he's going to be able to survive, he's going to be able to save quite a few of those villages. There's 2 villages there that will probably go down, and the rest should probably get out of there, if not more. Can also get these Herso to move in and start fighting this as well. Get a nice surround, force a restoration, and then retreat would be the good idea here. And it does look like that's what's kind of happening here. But the army is quite strong for player at the moment, and the micro from Shelty is just not quite on point. You want to get the Herso that are getting targeted by the Toxotes to get to run away as soon as possible. We are seeing restoration does go down, and unfortunately, he's not quite doing this one. Oh, okay, this is fine. I thought you can, if that was all the army player had there, you can retreat out one way and retreat out the other way to get your units out as fast as possible, and then go back in and fight. But these units are going to be very, very strong. That was a really nice play there from Shelty, able to basically waste the restoration in a non-significant fight. And we do have these villages on this gold mine right now. But player is now in a position that he can run over onto this location. It looks like the scout has seen this, and does player or Shelty does see the scout as well, so they're going to be able to duke it out for this gold mine, and it's all going to come down to this fight. If Shelty can survive this fight here and win, he should be able to get through to the heroic age fairly simply and make it very difficult for player to win this game. But it does look like for some reason player not going for that location. He can move in, siege on these houses, take the houses down, and then move in onto this gold mine, which does mean that Shelty's not going to be able to get any of those really important myth unit spawns. He's also got the medium hoplite out. Going to be running into this tree to be able to make the surface area that these units are attacking be very, very low. Looks like the Herso trying to drag them out here. And the Toxotes going to be trying to take down those throwing axemen as best as they possibly can. Minotaur trying to run around. Need to get that guy to be running in on top of those throwing axemen and trying to keep him alive as long as possible. Some myth unit spawns happening here as Shelty's army is starting to lower. Unfortunately, not getting as many as you think. There's the Iron here, which is a very, very important. I need to get that guy attacking so you get the boost. And with the defender's advantage here, Shelty manages to completely clean up the Zeus army. And what's player doing behind this? He's not grabbing a second town center, and he's still pumping units, and he's not going to that next age. So he's going to be in a really difficult position here in order to win as Shelty's pushing through here, and he can actually start moving on to a second gold mine of Shelty as well, or not Shelty, of player as player's gold mine expiring there at about the 12-minute mark. He's going to be moving forward and trying to do all of that good stuff. We're seeing a bunch of villages moving over here. We've got the granary going up. These villages moving over to this gold mine. Does Shelty know about that? Shelty does know that there's a gold mine here, and that's probably the gold mine you're going to be going for. We'll see if he does do that. I would prefer to see Shelty investing less into units at this point and more into food and getting it to that next age. He is still gathering from these baboon here, and he still does have the gazelle and the elephant up here, which he can move on to, but that's not happening just yet, and it does look like the throwing action and the Herso are going to be chasing these hoplites back through this wall. We'll see if he does move in over here. He does have the spy, so he can pick off all of these villagers, and these villagers not moving just yet. Looks like the army is feeling fairly strong at this point. Can delete this granary in order to get these villagers out a little bit easier, but not doing that one just yet. They're going to take a bit of damage, and the hoplite are actually going to be in a fairly good position here. There's a lot of them there, but the throwing axemen on top of the Iron Hayar, those units go up very, very strong once that horn is rung. Going to be picking off even more of these units. Player likes this fight here, given that he's got the wooden wall. It doesn't mean that the hoplites don't get completely taken out by all the Herso, but a lot of them were sitting in the back of the army there, and Shelty's pushing player back into his base. We're seeing these villagers moving up onto the gazelle here. He doesn't have any farms just yet, so it looks like Shelty's going to be struggling to get to that next age unless he can just like clutch out the resources here. He doesn't have any chickens, he doesn't have any goat, he's only got the last gazelle and the last zebra here, and then he's going to have to transition into farms. He's building building only the dwarves there, and he does have the armory, and he's probably just about, yeah, he's going to get the food. Nicely done there. Going to be able to go through Bragi coming through, and this is going to be very difficult for player to handle here. Player is not close to that next stage. He is sitting at full population though, so if he can hang on, potentially get to that next stage through Apollo, utilize Underworld in order to bait out the flaming weapons, he may be able to hold on here and get through to that Mythic Age Zeus late game, which should be able to deal with the Loki. So we'll see if he can get to the Mythic Age before Bragi comes in and causes the pain, or if Shelty even manages to just move his villagers over into these hunt locations. Looks like that's not... Oh yeah, he's moving up here. He's got the elephant and he's got the gazelle. So he can potentially just go straight to the Mythic Age as well if he doesn't want to grab any more town centers, which could be a smart move. But there is Bolt in order to pick off at least one of the fire giants. Bolt doesn't kill off a Nidhogg, but it can do a lot of damage. Or we could see the flaming weapons right here. This is not good though. He's not surrounding the army. He's going to be using it, and he's not got the barracks up there. He needs to get the barracks up in front of the wall, or this is going to be a very huge wasted flaming weapons. And it looks like players going to be able to get away from there without losing an entire army. And the fight has finished here. He should be able to bash down this wooden wall very, very fast. You can see those throwing axemen do a lot of damage there. And he is going to start moving in here, but he needs to get onto this gold mine. He's going to be sending a couple of Herso over there. And if we check out where the army's going, he is moving over and trying to chase down these straggler Herso. And these Herso are not going to be able to do all too much versus this army, even with flame weapons. It looks like Shelty's going to be going for that town center. Wants to keep that one down so that there is no... There's no heroic age coming through for player here, trying to keep a little bit ahead, get as much favor as he possibly can. He is going to be building out those battle ball. He's got 14 villages on the gold. We are seeing this town center going down very, very fast. With 8 villages repairing it, it's still going to be going down, and we are going to see potentially that town center does fall, but all of the hoplite, he doesn't let it go down. The flaming weapons does finish up, and there was enough villages there to repair that town center. We're seeing more of these units moving in onto these gold villages here, but the bolt does come down onto player's battle ball, and player is able to defend that flaming weapons beautifully. Unfortunately, chasing this army down, he's not really ready to be fighting this one with what he's got here. Looks like he's going for it though. The battle ball not being able to be that efficient, needs to get that guy into the back line so the Toxotes have to deal with him. We are going to see these throwing axemen retreating yet again. If we check out Shelty's population, he is sitting at 101 population, and these villagers do need to get up onto these elephant at some point. He's also got some baboon up here he can gather from. We are going to be seeing this fight probably going to not go in the favor of Shelty too well, even with these battle ball. He's got the double... Player's got the double heroes, but one does get picked off, and the throwing axemen are trying to pick off the Odysseus as fast as possible. If you can pick off both of the heroes, which he is trying to do here, that's a lot of damage this battle ball can soak. But the micro from player being fairly nice there, focusing down those throwing axemen as best as he possibly can. Still got some idle villages here, need to get those guys back to work. Maybe even start getting up some of those farms, but he is building the throwing axemen at this point. He's not got that... he does have military buildings up here, but he's only got 4 currently building at this point. He's got the battle ball coming as well, so I guess that's 5. But his army is not getting replenished as fast as players at this point. Players sitting at 103 to 90 population of Shelty there. He's still got these idle villages. Going to start building up some farms, going for these elephant. He does have another option here. He can get to the Mythic Age, get the Fire Giant out, and start producing Ballister and Fire Giant. If you can get there early, it can be very, very good. We're seeing this wall being very, very useful yet again. These hosts are not killing it just yet. Maybe we're going to go through this way instead. He's got some villages here he can deal with, but the hoplite going to take down this forward base of Shelty. Maybe worth for Shelty to just simply retreat at this point and build some more barracks up and try and get out more myth units. He does have 55 favor in the bank, so that's a couple more battle ball he could have. Trying to block in these Toxotes yet again with these longhouses. It's always a good idea, but he needs to get them in in a better positioning. We're seeing the battle ball move in, and these heroes going to be falling very, very fast. Also, Jason not getting onto the battle ball for a little bit too long. Odysseus taking down this battle ball very, very fast. Going to be taking down the Valkyrie next, and then the battle ball is going to fall. But looks like this army is doing a lot of work to player at this point. I'd love to see potentially a hill fort as well from Shelty getting thrown up so he can produce some of those Huskal. Then he can go into a really heavy wood-based army, go throwing Axemen, Huskal, and then every other little bit of food he gets can go into Herser. And that way he can really counter this army heavily. But player struggling at this point just a little bit. He is looking like he's going through Dionysus here. So Dionysus is going to be very, very useful there to get that bronze onto this army to hold on for a little bit longer and then potentially get to the Mythic Age. Looks like he's potentially trying to get there, but he's got a lot of food in the bank. And he can start getting out those counter infantry units up Haspis as soon as he hits that next age. And he is trying to, feel like he was trying to conserve those resources there because he wants to get them out. He also needs to get out of Heracles straight away so to cancel that villager and get out his heroes. Does he have access to... He does have Olympic parentage, which does mean his hero is going to be very, very strong. And the heroes from Greek are just so good against what what Loki's doing here. And he can just move in and just take out these units so strong once he has those 3 heroes out, as we see that Heracles is coming out and Hypaspis coming out as well. Going to be a complete counter to what Shelty's got here. So the answer to what the Zeus player is doing right now is to sort of transition into raiding cavalry or get to the Mythic Age and get some of those fire giants out and see if he can do anything like that. He does have this elephant here, so he does have quite a bit of resources coming in. Should probably take a bunch of these dwarves off wood here and move them onto gold so he can pump out those raiding cavalry. Or Jarl, whichever one you choose is a good idea. We're seeing some raids coming up here. The wall here as well. Still no second town center for either player. Player is just chilling. Looks like he's got a lot of food in the bank. Potentially could just take some of those villagers off food and then move them over to gold would be an option here. Or even onto wood and get another town center, because that would be very, very useful. Pushing off gold here is a little bit big. Not going into this gold mine. I'm not 100% sure why you'd be going for this gold mine over this gold mine. Simply because this one's safer, but I guess he can always move back onto it. So he's going for this gold mine. He's going to work backwards, I guess. Move here, move here, move here. We'll see if he can kind of survive here. But player's in a really, really strong position at this point, given that he's got access to Haspists. Those units are just so brutally strong. Does he have his market up just yet? Doesn't have his market up, so he needs to get out the 300. We can just cancel these Toxotes. Yeah, he's going to cancel those, get up his market, and then potentially go through Hera. And we're just going to see Hera go in and then go in for a gold star, get access to Medusa, which can counter those myth units even more from Loki. And then on top of that, the Lightning Storm plus Bronze is going to be really, really big. He's still got Bronze here. You can actually just use Bronze and win this fight straight up. Bronze is super strong. Gives yourself 30% extra armor here, and when you look at how much armor these units have, that's a lot. But not choosing to fight here is a little bit interesting. Having access to 3 heroes at nearly full HP and counter units with Bronze, I'm just not sure why you wouldn't want to fight here, especially with Hera coming up. Clean up this army and clean up the replacements with Lightning Storm. He's still got resources in the bank so he can replenish his army. He's got heavy Hippaspis as well, so those guys are going to do a lot of work. But it does look like player is just happy bringing Shelty back to this location, and Shelty feels like he can win this fight for some reason. Bronze coming down, going to force Shelty back. Hell has come through, so he's got access to Nidhogg. Where's the Nidhogg going down? Looks like Nidhogg's going down onto this town center. Going to prevent that one from coming up. We're going to be seeing Shelty having to retreat here back into this location. We're seeing Arpaspis come in for a little bit of an early raid onto those villagers. Nidhogg going to pick off every single one of these villagers here. And where is the Odysseus? Player sending that Odysseus back. Going to be dealing a little bit of damage to this Nidhogg, but Nidhogg does have 64% pierce armor. And he's going to have to he's going to have to be slinging away at that Nidhogg for quite a while. Now, I was seeing the Fire Giant in here as well. No Medusa just yet in order to pick that guy off. And these myth units need to be targeted by the heroes, unless otherwise it's going to be very difficult. We're seeing Shelty does grab that second town center over here, so that's going to be huge for him. Still no use of the lightning. Well, lightning storm hasn't come yet because Hera hasn't been researched, but still not using that lightning storm to finish this game. Hera comes through, lightning storm comes down, gonna pick off a bunch of those dwarves, which is absolutely gigantic. If you check out Shelty's economy here, he's only got villagers on this gold mine, and it does look like the Nidhogg takes a bit of damage there, but not that significant. We're seeing these Hulksuck gonna be coming in here, trying to bash through this wall and maybe prevent this town center from going up, which is gonna be getting up just as they're trying to bash through there. We don't have this town center up yet for Shelty, so Shelty's in a very dire situation. We're seeing these units trying to pick off the Nidhogg here, but they're just not going to be able to do it. Nidhogg does so much AoE damage. What is it? Does it have... No, it doesn't. It doesn't have like any options of that one, but you can just see how much damage that it does. I was going to have a look and see what the splash radius is, but it's very, very large. You can see it's maybe like this many units wide. I don't know. We are also seeing that Harpaspis does see this gold mine is going to get is getting gathered, so he's going to send his units over there. Does Shelty know about this back gold mine here? He does know about the back gold mine. I'm not sure why he hasn't started gathering from it just yet. And players just had his Toxo, or he has his Harpaspis there, but he's had units on that one all game, just checking it out. Sending a couple of dudes up to this location here, going to be putting some pressure on over here. If we check out Shelty's economy or population, he's on 90 population, so that's feeling real bad. We've got the Medusa here as well, who's going to be able to pick off these Fire Giants very, very fast. But the Fire Giants can also return the favor on the Medusa. They do a lot of damage. What's the bonus? 100% bonus against myth units, so it's like 30 damage a second or something. It does a bunch of damage onto those units, but it does look like player moving up here, going to be trying to pick off a bunch of these villagers yet again. We're seeing the Nidhogg pushing off this gold mine, which is big, but Odysseus is on his way to pick this guy off. All of these units, all these villagers are going to be feeling the pain. Medusa did use the special on the villager though, so not going to be able to use the special onto the Fire Giant. Going to be trying to move that Medusa away from this location here, and you can see the Fire Giant special being used on the Medusa, which is an interesting choice considering it doesn't actually do that much damage. You want to use the regular attacks the Fire Giant sends onto that Medusa. You can see those Fire Giants getting picked off very, very fast from these units here, and we're also seeing this gold mine getting taken by Shelty. Ox Cart goes down, which forces these villagers to run all the way back to the town center. Bellerophon coming in, going to be picking off all of those villagers as well, and the Fire Giants trying to get out of there. Player sitting at 130 population, and we're seeing 78 population from Shelty. Player can also grab this town center whenever he feels like. The Nidhogg is here though, so going to be able to do a lot of damage to those Harpaspis. Does pick off those guys very, very fast, but Odysseus yet again coming in here trying to pick off that Nidhogg. Does like 30 damage a shot, which is gigantic, but the Nidhogg does have that 2000 HP. Going to be trying to fight here yet again. Does manage to pick off all of those Harpaspis with the special there and then run away. Medusa trying to catch up. Definitely want to get that Medusa and to use the special, and unfortunately there we go. There's doesn't have the special just yet, but going to be able to use that Medusa in here, pick that Fire Giant off, but not going to be doing that one that fast. And does look like Shelty gonna tap out. GG, well played there by player, managing to survive there. I feel like this game took a turn. I feel like Shelty was winning, undeniably winning the game. He was here. If he'd gotten this longhouse down, potentially there was some lag or something, but if he got the longhouse down, then player's army would have died, and then player would not have been able to get to the heroic age. Shelty probably wouldn't have gone for this town center either in the flaming weapons, because he would have gotten so much favor out of picking off that army. Then he could have just gone and sat over here and just killed the gold miners and won the game. Sometimes it just comes down to those real little plays where you have to be thinking ahead just a little bit more than you are. I knew he had the plan to do it, but he just didn't execute on that on that longhouse front there, and player manages to survive that somehow, taking that first game 1-0 on what looks like was Shelty's pick there. So if you guys enjoyed this game, please rate, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to see my videos as soon as it comes out. My name's Boit, and I will see you guys next time.